impose sanctions on our fertilizers. And then they cancel those sanctions and they don't impose any sanctions on food because everyone wants to eat. The entire world wants to eat. What sanctions could be discussed? And as for this blitzkrieg against our economy, well, they failed, obviously. Like Mark Twain said, the rumors about my death were largely exaggerated. The same goes for the situation with Russia.
I am coming to you from the Athens Olympic Stadium here at night. The first time I think I'm actually showing a night view of this stadium. And I thought I would do a very quick video and talk about Putin's speech at the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum, the SPIEF 2022, and just give you my thoughts on what Putin said. And then talk a little bit, very quickly, about Assange and the news we have about Assange and his extradition, and then do a quick clown world. And in this clown world, we'll talk about a statement made by Nancy Pelosi. So real quick, Putin gave the speech that a lot of us have been waiting for. This is probably his first real big major speech since the speech he gave on February 24th at the start of the special military operation. Putin looked absolutely fine, healthy, and it didn't look like he was suffering from any ailments or anything serious. Doesn't mean that he's 100% or not 100%. Who knows? But he looked energetic. He looked on point, and he even actually alluded to some of the ridiculous rumors about his health during one of the sessions at the forum. And outside of his appearance, I would say that Putin's speech was a declaration to the world and to the old world order, the Western world order, that Russia is now out of the system. They are free. They've done it. They've managed to break out of the Western architecture, and they're charting an independent and sovereign course. And it was very much, actually it reminded me a lot of the concepts that Dr. Steve Turley talks about. Actually, it didn't remind me. It was pretty much spot on point. Dr. Steve Turley on his channel has been talking about the civilizational world order for a while now. And if anyone wants to learn about the civilizational world order, definitely watch Dr. Steve Turley's videos. But just listen to Putin's speech, because he pretty much laid it out. He laid it out on point. Russia is out of the current architecture. Russia is a sovereign state. We're going to chart our own course. Russia is a civilizational state. It has a culture. It has a history. It has a way it does things on a political level, on a societal level, and it's ready to work with other sovereign states, but it won't be lectured. It won't be controlled. It won't be talked down to, and it's going to pursue its interests, always within the framework of cooperation and international law. That's pretty much the essence of what Putin was talking about. He got into why the special military operation happened. He talked about the Minsk Accords. He talked about the breakdown of the Minsk Accords. He talked about NATO, the fact that Zelensky wasn't coming out and following the Minsk Accords, nor was he saying that Ukraine would be a neutral state. He talked about the fact that Ukraine was attacking the Donbass for 8 years and no one was listening. He talked about the fact that Ukraine was amassing tens of thousands of troops on the border of Donbass. So he got into all of that. And he said that no one was listening to us and no one was taking our interests into account. And so this special military operation, as terrible as it is, because Putin said that people are fighting and they're losing lives, he said it had to happen. There was no other choice. There was no other way out of the problem that existed in the Donbass, out of the fact that the collective West was positioning their forces and their influence right on the borders of Russia. He said there was no way to resolve it. Russia exhausted all their options, so he got into that. He talked a lot about the economy, and he said that the collective West has no idea. Pretty much, he said they have no idea how to run an economy. He said that you don't solve economic problems just by printing money. He flat out said it. He said that you have to be a child to believe in the Putin price hike, Putin tax narrative. I mean, he actually said that you have to be a child to actually believe that narrative. He says everyone knows that this problem right now that is plaguing the collective West is due to excessive money printing. He also said that you can't sanction Russia. It's not going to work trying to bring Russia down and bring Russia to its knees with sanctions. He said that the sanctions have backfired on the EU and on the United States. He also said the unipolar moment is over. He said that the elites' time of rule has come to an end, that people in Europe and people in the United States and the collective West are going to suffer and are suffering at the hands of their elites. But that suffering will eventually turn to the fall of those elites. And what else did he say? I think I've pretty much covered most of it. Go to ODYSEE. You will see all the videos on RT's channel in ODYSEE. They're broken up into like 30-second to 5 minutes bits. Really easy to digest. It's all translated in English. Look at the videos. I think you'll come to many of the same conclusions that I'm talking about to you right now. And what else? And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, during one of the sessions that Putin was sitting on, one of these panel sessions, it was actually the moderator. I believe that was Margarita Simonian, if I'm not mistaken, the editor of RT. I'm not sure, but I think that was her. I could be wrong. But sitting next to Putin was the president of Kazakhstan, Turkayev, I believe is the president's name of Kazakhstan. Anyway, he was sitting next to Putin. It was those two. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? To me, that was a clear signal that Russia, Kazakhstan, China, Eurasia, this is our time. That's what I think Putin was telling the world, that Eurasia is here, and we are looking east. Russia is looking east. We're going to be looking towards Kazakhstan. We're going to be looking towards China, and we're going to be working with the rest of the world. Putin even said it. He said as far as wheat, grain, gas, oil, all of our commodities, we are going to work with friendly nations, and we're going to make sure that our commodities are sold in partnership to friendly nations. And Russia is open for business to all those nations which are not looking to attack it and to bring it down. He also said, he had a very interesting statement as well, and I'll finish it off with this. He was talking about how the collective West, the leadership, are just a bunch of children, pretty much. He was saying that they have no idea what they're doing, is what he was getting to. But he said, as they tried to bring our country down, as they tried to bring Russia down, he said, we, the people, united. He said the administration worked together in a professional, planned, calm manner. He actually used the words, in a professional manner. And whatever they tried to throw at us didn't work. So he actually said that. I thought that was interesting because he threw the word out that our administration, we acted in a professional manner, while the collective West, the leadership is just a bunch of children. And I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but he did use those words throughout his speech. And I don't have any quotes in front of me. So maybe tomorrow I'll throw out some quotes in my morning video update. I'll see. And I think I will leave it there. And By the way, he looked absolutely healthy. I said that again. Doesn't look like he's suffering from anything. And during one of the sessions, Putin actually, he alluded to the whole health thing. And he said that, he quoted Mark Twain, and he said, the rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated. That quote, that's attributed to Mark Twain, even though it's not exactly from what I understand, it's not exactly what Mark Twain said. But Putin said that during one of the sessions with the Kazakh leader next to him. He said, the rumors of I don't know what's going on here. I wonder if I can go in to the Olympic Stadium. He said the rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated, and I think that's interesting because in the collective West, you have leaders in the collective West and universities that are banning Dostoevsky and Tolstoy, and they're trying to cancel and ban great Russian writers and authors, while Putin is quoting great American authors. Think about that. Just think about that. They're trying to ban Russian literature, and Putin is quoting great American literature. Just a thought. So let's talk real quick about Assange. I think I could go in. Let me see. And we'll do a real quick clown world, and we'll wrap up this night video. Let's see. Okay, so it's a free entrance to something. Wow, what a treat, guys. So this is the 1896? Yeah, I think 1896, the first Olympic Games, the modern Olympic Games were held here in this stadium. I think they have a boxing match or something going on. Let's check it out. So real quick with Assange, the UK Home Secretary, Patel, she approved the extradition of Assange, so Assange will now be extradited to the United States, to Virginia, where he's facing 17 counts of, gosh, I don't know, a foreign, I forgot the counts that he's facing. God, it's like on the tip of my tongue. Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know, foreign something, 17 counts of Foreign Espionage Act, of, I think, breaking the Foreign Espionage Act. And yeah, so that's done now. Assange will be extradited to the United States, and let's just hope and pray that he gets the absolute best legal representation in the U.S. and he beats this thing. So that is the news coming out of the UK. And in the video that I did early in the morning, my first video update, one of the questions from the BBC reporter to Lavrov was when he was talking about the British foreign fighters, mercenaries, and how they were sentenced to the death penalty in Donbass. He actually asked Lavrov, can you trust a court in the Donbass? Like he was, being a little snarky, and you actually trust a court in the Donbass with this sentence? And Lavrov fired back at the BBC reporter, and he said, well, do you trust a UK court? He pretty much said that. He says, in a UK court, really? And my mind now goes to Assange. Do you trust a UK court? So we have seen what the UK justice system is all about with this Assange ruling and extradition, and gosh, I don't know, what is it, 2-3 years of being held prisoner without any charges. So we have that, and let's do a final clown world before I get to the main event here. So the clown world is courtesy of Nancy Pelosi, and Nancy Pelosi was talking to reporters. And Pelosi said that, let me actually turn around so you guys can see over my shoulder here. And Pelosi said that the cost of living problems and the inflation and the living standards problems that everyone is going through in the United States are due to the fact that you can't get goods and services imported into the U.S. because of the coup and the war in Iraq. That's what she said. And the war in Iraq.
Look, we have the war in Iraq. We have COVID, which has...
And she said those two things are preventing imports from coming into the United States, and they're just making the cost of living just too high for Americans. So her mind is on the Iraq war, as was Bush's mind on the Iraq war when he gave that speech like 2-3 weeks ago, and he talked about the invasion of Iraq, the slip of the tongue there. So that is Nancy Pelosi. And I guess since we started with, I guess this video is a little bit about leadership, and we talked about Putin and what his thoughts were with regard to Western leaders and how they're children and how they're incompetent and how they're trying to scapegoat. He actually did say scapegoat, how they're trying to scapegoat Russia and blame Russia for all their problems. And all they do is money print, and they think that printing money is going to solve their problems. Well, Putin said that Russian leadership acts in a responsible and professional way, and that's how they solve their problems. Nancy Pelosi, I guess, is on the other end of the leadership spectrum, and you can see that even at this moment, she's trying to blame the coup, and instead of talking about Ukraine and trying to blame it on Putin, she ends up mentioning Iraq and the Iraq war, of which I believe Nancy Pelosi voted for. And I'm sure for the lockdowns and the coup and all that stuff, I'm sure Nancy Pelosi was also very much in favor of that as well. So anyway, I'm going to end this video. I don't want this video to go on too long because I want to get this up tonight. Let me get up closer real quick for just a minute so everyone can get a good view of the boxing event. And I am going to sign out to Duran.locals.com.
Round 3. Bravo, bravo.